Hey guys, how's it going? This is Obi here with Lion Strong Elite, and I just want to say thank you for tuning in and watching another video of mine. Because guys, as I always say, I am appreciative of you guys doing that. You guys can be anywhere else watching whatever nonsense online, but you're deciding to join me today and get value. And value is what you guys shall receive. So before we get into it, guys, simple housekeeping rules. I would appreciate it if you guys would smash that like button for me and subscribe to the channel, okay? It's important that this message get out, because every time I open my mouth, I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys something that's not only true, but factual, but most importantly, applicable, okay? I want you to take what we're doing right now and apply it instantly and benefit and have your life enhanced in that regard. So guys, we'll get into today's video topic is why having a structured routine is non-negotiable for those who are entrepreneurs, those who are CEOs, executives. You know, guys, my main target demographic are these individuals. Why? Is because people like us typically have the same type of mindset. Okay, we have the mindset that we want to win, we want to dominate, we want to maximize every minute of our day so that way it's towards our goal. We don't want to waste time. You know, so with that said, it's important that you have a routine that embodies that. So when it comes to your training, guys, it's important that you do something that's efficient. You do something that's not going to waste time. You're going to be able to do all the things that we always talk about: maximize muscle stimulation, maximize cardiovascular work, and you want to make sure that when it comes to your recovery nutrition, it's not something that you're going to screw up on. It's something that's going to be easy to follow because it fits in with your lifestyle. That's what it's all about. And so in order to do all that, guys, you have to always remember and understand why you're doing this. You're doing this because it's not just about looking good, okay? Being healthy. Even though those are things that we want to be, not disregarding them, but you want to be the best, okay? So in order to be the best, you have to make sure that you are looking your best and that you are healthy, okay? So being the best is on top, and the byproduct of that is all the stuff that I described, okay? So keep that in mind, guys. It's important that you have a bigger why, bigger purpose why you're doing things, because when you have that bigger why, it's what's going to always keep you on track. You know, I do recall that in my career, working with a lot of people, I notice the ones that typically fall off, that typically don't adhere to the program, is because I made the error of taking them on, considering that when asking them their why, they were not able to give me their why. Because guys, that why is what's going to keep you on track. Okay, so anyway, so getting back to this, so I'll just give you guys some examples of some things you want to adhere to. So I made some shorts talking about what's ideal to train in the morning or night. Okay, obviously ideal morning is better, because your body's able to have more energy. Oftentimes you typically have better focus, and with that said, you're able to maximize the nutrition that you're taking in early in the day or close to, and this is typically carbohydrates and stuff like that. Your body can better utilize them, considering that it is the primary source of energy. But nonetheless, it's important that you get your training in no matter what, okay? So it doesn't matter if it's morning or night, you got to get it in, okay? The consistency is what matters. So when it comes to this routine, if you're somebody, excuse me, guys, I get some water, it's kind of dry. Sorry about that. If you're the kind of person that you prefer workout in the morning, it's important that you stick to that, okay? So that means you have to structure your day to where this 30 minutes is what I prefer. This 30-minute block of time is for training, okay? I think people oftentimes fall off because what they do is, they allow themselves to get so busy to the point where they don't do their morning 30-minute work training, session at that time. What I write up for them, what I prescribe for them. And what happens is, if you're somebody that typically works out and trains in the morning and you let the day go on, well, what typically happens when the day goes on? You get busier, you get tied down, you get things that pop up, and before you know it, the day is just stacking on top of each other, and you're not going to get that training in. And when you don't get that training in, if you're a morning trainer, a person who trains in the morning, you're most likely not going to adhere to the diet, okay? And why is that? Because I do believe that when it comes to adhering to a nutrition protocol, it's easy to do that when you're training because the body is now incentivized to want to take in nutrition, okay? So if you're not training in the morning and the day goes on, that means that everything is out of whack, okay? If you're someone who likes to train before you eat, that means that you're most likely gonna skip the first meal. Going to the second meal, it's gonna throw everything out of loop. You're gonna get even more busy, and then before you know it, you're gonna go grab that donut, you're gonna go grab that piece of pizza that's not on your program, okay? That's the problem. So it's not so much about, just getting, doing the stuff. It's just keeping that structure, guys. When you've built that type of habit of doing it this time, okay, habits are important because they keep you on track, okay? And then vice versa. If you're somebody who doesn't work out in the mornings, you work out at night, okay? So that means that why you work at night, okay? So I've guys who I work with who are entrepreneurs. They typically like to start their day pretty early with work, and they like to do their workout in the evening time when things have calmed down and they can focus on training. If these guys do their workout in the morning, right, because they're not used to operating that way, even though that is a good thing to train in the morning, okay? Again, not that I'm discouraging that, but you do want to get yourself in a habit of doing things a certain way, okay? But because they train in the morning, when they're night trainers, it tends to, again, mess up with their diet. These are people that I notice that people who train in the evening don't eat as much, or they don't eat as much towards bedtime, or at least they shouldn't. So when you're training at night, it kind of takes you into the next day where you're probably going to be eating more. You're probably going to be adhering to behaviors that are counterproductive towards your goal. If you're not doing your night training in this particular example, you're going to find yourself probably doing extracurricular activities that are not conducive to your goal. What do folks typically do at night? They like to have a drink, have ice cream, comfort stuff, right? Which makes sense after a long day. But guys, I'm not saying that you can't enjoy these. You can enjoy certain things. Of course, I'm against alcohol, guys. Don't forget that you shouldn't be drinking that crap, period. But when it comes to ice cream and all this stuff, I'm not saying you can't enjoy that, because you do want to live a life that's of balance, okay? But it's important that you stay on a certain system, okay? And most importantly, the body gets used to what you do to it. The body gets used to you eating your breakfast, eating your particular lunch, eating your dinners. It gets used to that, and it also gets accustomed to when you train. And I guess an exception of this would be if you train twice a day. And yes, guys, I do have clients that I create their program where I have them training morning and night, and even sometimes morning, noon, and night. And how they do that? Well, why do they do that? They do it because they prefer to be more active. They find themselves, and I can definitely agree, because I oftentimes do 2 workouts a day. Okay, they do it because it allows them to stay mentally sharp. So it's more of a mental thing than it is physical, even though the physical benefits are there as well. But the mental the mental gains are definitely present. So that's why you have to make sure that you are sticking to what works for you. So it's not so much about what the best thing is, it's about what's the best thing for you. And when you can determine that, you have to make sure you stick to that on a regular basis, because by sticking to it, that's when you get results, okay? I think oftentimes when it comes to getting results, people typically complicate it. They think they got to do a million things. They have to switch it up and mix it up. Guys, you don't got to do that, okay? You got to, number one, worry about this. No matter if you're a guy who trains in the morning, midday, night, okay, you stick to that. And as long as you're applying the principle of progressive overload, okay, and what's that? I'll explain that. A principle of progressive overload is when you're constantly increasing, and I'm talking about as far as training. And why training? Like I always say, because training typically sets the precedent and the foundation for everything else, okay? When you're practicing the principle of progressive overload when it comes to training, that just simply means that you're increasing your volume over time, okay? What does volume consist of? Your weights, your rep ranges, and I would even throw this in there. I would even throw it decreasing rest. You want to basically, in layman's terms, make the training more difficult. So to make it more difficult, you're going to have to increase the discomfort or the load, okay? And that's basically what progressive overload is. So the thing is, as long as you're applying that principle, right, and you're sticking to what works best for you, as far as the time you train, when you eat this food, you know, it's gonna work because the body gets accustomed to doing the same thing. See guys, most people can't handle stuff like this because it's monotonous or it's boring. But you know what guys, on this channel, we are high performing men. We are men that dominate, that get things done, that get results. And guess what guys, anybody on this watching this video can relate that to get the best results, you're gonna have to do a lot of boring, do a lot of monotony day to day, you know, because the road to success, as we all know it, isn't supposed to be glamorous or pretty, okay? It can be, you know, quite annoying, to be honest with you. But guys, we don't worry about the process, we worry about the result. We obsess about the result, hence why we go through the process, okay? So guys, anyway, with this video, I just wanted just to articulate, you know, why it's important to stick to a structured routine, okay? It's not so much about, again, what it is you're doing. It's about familiarizing yourself with doing the same habitual things, so that way you get an outcome due to you being accustomed to it, the body being accustomed to it. And when the body when the body and the mind become accustomed to something, it becomes second nature. It becomes like the back of your hand. You start to do an autopilot. Okay, so that's why it's important to do that. And this is why the most successful men typically do it, guys, because it works. Okay, at the end of the day, does it work or not? And it works. Okay, we're chasing those results. We're not chasing those feelings. Okay, and a lot of you guys that are in your feelings, get the hell out of your feelings, because that and results don't coexist. Okay, if you want to be successful, you want to be a champion, you have to learn how to compartmentalize those feelings. Okay, and focus on what you got to do. Because at the end of the day, when you focus on what you got to do, that's when the true satisfaction comes out. Excuse me, guys. That's how you get true satisfaction. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. And make sure, guys, if you're interested in Lion Strong Elite coaching, excuse me, guys, my throat's dry. For those interested in Lion Strong Elite coaching, be sure to check the description. Check us out on Instagram, okay? If you're interested, it's an exclusive offer in which we only take a very few. We don't take many. So if you're interested, guys, check out the description, and I'll see you guys on the next one. See ya.